that the patient cannot improve. The patient can improve. So today let us study about neuroplasticity about the brain. So let us study about the neuroplasticity in stroke patient. Type. Winnie, type. Neuroplasticity in stroke patient. So let us take the image of a stroke patient. Go to MRI. So now there's a word, stimulation, your brain to enhance stroke recovery. What does your brain needs to understand recovery? So let us go for neuroplasticity images. Now you can see various images in which you have seen brain in multiple ways, activities of multiple ways. Each activity has to be coordinated with other activity. Now, there's a book. Can the brain be rewired? Go down. There's a book. So then, no. Can the brain be rewired? Rewired, yes. So let us take pathways. Second image, good. So now there are three things. You're asking me, what are the three things? When I wrote about the book, Neurobiology of Allahu, see, whenever this patient comes, stroke patient, anyone comes, they create a lot of stress on us. Now, if you see one word, all pathways get used, less and weaken. So, this is the why I always try to create new pathways inside my brain and I create new activities. There's the reason why am I teaching, right? Because by teaching, I enhance my activity of learning and also to create a new pathway inside my brain. What is my pathway inside the brain? Of thinking, understanding, and realization. Three things happens in you. What? Thinking, understanding, and realization. Now, if you see, with repeated and direct attention towards a desired change you all have, what will happen? You will change. And that is why it was said in Bible, keep chanting the name. Why? It will create a...
सर कैमरा को सेंटर में लीजिए, खाली आंखें दिखाई दे रही है, बस बस, इतना भी नहीं, इतना भी नहीं, बस बस बस, ओके।
Now we see three things. What are the three things? हमने तीन चीज देखी है. How to rewire the brain, how to create new pathways inside the brain. That is why you will see people are given different skills. That is why occupational therapy was created. कि हर दूसरा तरह का ऑक्यूपेशन देके नया नया काम देके ब्रेन को ट्रेन करना, यानी to train the brain in new ways. So the moment you train your new ways, it becomes difficult to retrain the brain. That is what I said in the stroke also, that it becomes very difficult. And you make it more difficult by pulling and stretching. No neurophysiotherapist or neurologist will advise you stretching and pulling. Basically, stretching and pulling se brain kuch nahi samajhta. It does not understand anything. Because there are only two things in the brain muscles, contraction and relaxation. Bas. Contract and relax. These are two fundamental quality of the muscles. Fundamental quality. There may be many qualities. So, to bring a desired change, you must repeat the stimulation again and again. So, repeating one time may bring the change, but the change disappear tomorrow. Why?
Neuroplasticity is under progress.
No, neuroplasticity stops. If you stop that stimulation, if you stop things, if you stop continuing a desired progress, even bringing a circumduction walk is also a type of neuroplasticity in stroke. यानी पैर को लंगड़ा लंगड़ा के चलना भी एक तरह का न्यूरोप्लास्टिसिटी है. बट इट इज नॉट द डिजायर्ड प्लास्टिसिटी व्हाट वी वांट. यानी हम जो चीज चाहते हो ये वो चीज नहीं है. दैट इज व्हाई इट वाज सेड कि हर मसल्स को वेल डिफाइंड पाथवे पे ले जाना है. वेल डिफाइंड पाथवे मतलब आगे वो जैसा था उसी पाथवे पर, उसी मेमोराइज्ड पाथवे पर लाना है. द वे द पेशेंट वाज बिफोर, यू हैव टू ब्रिंग द what the patient to the stage before he was the disease. In most of the cases I have seen, people come. Only 10 or 20% of the people, they give up in the last stage. It is their personal reason, not a clinical reason. Or in some cases, there may be a clinical reason. Now, when we speak about clinical reasons, the most thing is that last changes takes very slowly. And patient loses patience. और कितने महीने. But he forgets that by going home, what will he do alone? He thinks I'll find another physician. Let him find. What will happen? So, when you understand, and it's just like driving a car. An initial phase, you become difficult. It's a baby who's walking. An initial phase, it becomes very difficult for him to walk. Same like एक stroke patient को जब आप चलाते हैं तो उसको चलाना initially बहुत दिकदारी होता है. But gradually वो difficulty day by day overcome हो जाती है. It is only to create a new pathway inside the brain.
Sir?
So,
जी सर.
repeated stimulation like RTCM. Why we call it RTCM or RTM? Repeated transcranial magnetic stimulation. When we speak about repeated magnetic stimulation, what do we understand? We have to repeatedly stimulate it. We have to repeatedly do things. That is why it was said in physiotherapy, you have to do 5,000 movements of a particular muscle to bring a desired movement. यानी 5,000 बार एक मसल का मूवमेंट किया जाए तो वो एक यूनिट ऊपर उठता है. Similarly, if a patient's repeated trans stimulation is not given, what will happen? Patient will not improve. That is why regularity of the treatment, regularity of the stimulation, regularity of the correct stimulation. For example, you want to train the muscles for movements. One is the power of the muscles. So you have used this particular pain stimulation or anything. मतलब मसल्स में कई क्वालिटी है. वन इज इंटेलिजेंस. यू कर लेना, यू कर लेना. दिस गॉट द इंटेलिजेंस ऑफ द ब्रेन टू ट्रेन द मसल. आप मुझे मार रहे, मैंने ऐसे कर लिया. आई हैव डिफेंडेड माई सेल्फ लाइक दिस इन द वे आई वाज टॉट. आई डिड लाइक दिस. दिस कॉल्ड व्हाट? क्विक स्टिमुलस. But do you find this stimulus in the stroke patient? No. Do you find in a Parkinson patient? No.
Hello,
Ah.
are you there?
I'm there. I have to think also now. I don't have a script while I teach. So, when you think about the activities of the brain, they are interconnected activity. Interconnectivity means eye connecting with the frontal lobe. So now something goes wrong with the eye, the movement of the frontal lobe also goes down. Or something goes wrong with stroke happens here. Even the eye connection, eye and brain coordination does not happen. And that is why they call it what? In क्या बोलते हैं इसको? PNF. PNF technique means eye and hand coordination technique is called neurofasciculation technique. Why neurofasciculation technique? Because you walk with your eyes. Whenever you walk with your eyes, you see and you walk. All the muscles like quadriceps, hamstring, all these are trained enough to maintain your balance, to maintain you walk. यानी आपका पूरा बॉडी आपके बैलेंस के हिसाब से चलता है. Now there is a stroke. So take out the image of a stroke patient. Motor cortex stroke. We learn MRI also little bit from this. Go to Google image. Winnie sleeping? Winnie? Oh, yeah. Motor cortex stroke. You can take the first image also. Here you can see the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere strokes. Different stages of the brain seen in different recovery level. This is called what? The recovery level of the brain taken in functional MRI, not the normal MRI images. All the lesions can be reduced in normal MRI. No, interconnectivity of the neurons. If it's disturbed, the internal pathways are disturbed. So let us go to the previous image of neuroplasticity. Yes. New thoughts, skills curve out new pathways. Now, if you continuously think new areas, for example, I start thinking about neurosurgery, neuro things, it creates a new pathway and it develops my personality in that pathway. And then to strengthen that way, for example, you have started studying Quran. So just studying Quran will not help you to bring your faith. One is what? Believe in God, praying to God. And one is believing in God. There are two things. Everyone believes there is God, so you pray to Him. But one is faith in God and love with God. If these two things have exist in you, faith and love, you will see not. It is not. Because if there is a smallest problem in your life, you start criticizing everyone in the world. Why? Because you don't lack in faith and love. So how to create this? By repeating and practicing strengthen these new pathways, forming new habits like zakat or praising the Lord, reading Bible, doing good work, is only nothing but repeating and doing a good work in your brain. For example, you did 2, 3 patients free of charity. That happiness inside you create lot of serotonin and it removes lot of negative neuroproteins inside your brain. This is what Bible said. If you understand the ways of Bible, you'll understand the ways of neuroplasticity inside the brain. As Jesus said that if you give love, compassion. So what is love and compassion? It improves your cortisol capacity. It improves your recovery capacity. It recovers your, you can see because of the love and respect and given to me, even 500 milligram of metajolam given taken by me to in an attempt to commit suicide did not work. It is a lethal dose I have taken. Myself I have taken. Did not work. But you see the same person who was that day and today, it's only hardly 15 or 20 days back. But you see the terrific change in my life. Because I started thinking in a new way. What is new way? I started thinking about glaucoma. I started thinking about eyes. I started thinking about brain. So I purchased what? Microscope. Because with age and development, all pathways becomes weak and weakens. That is why we develop new things in our machineries. We introduce robotics in physiotherapy. We introduce brain stimulations. We introduce new type of acupuncture techniques. Why? Because they were old pathways. Now they become weak. This is what neuroplasticity says. Neural pathways are connected relatively to distant areas of the brain, the nervous system. Each pathway is associated with a particular action or behavior. Now, if that area is damaged, you will behave arrogantly. Similarly, schizophrenia, paranoid disorders, all these are nothing but the deposition of neuroproteins and abnormal activity in that area of the brain because of the neurons. And neurons अपने हिसाब से चलते हैं और वो उस हिसाब से नहीं चलते जिस हिसाब से उनको चलना चाहिए उस हिसाब से हमारे पास नई तरह की बीमारी आने लगती है. Now we think that these things can be solved by medication. Yes, to some extent, they support us. But only totally depending on medicine is also not correct. We have to change our lifestyles, new thoughts, new habits, new ways which recovers the patient. You understood what I mean to say? So,
Yes, sir.
any doubt in this? किसी को कोई पूछना है, anything you want to ask me in this, please ask. Ask me questions if you have any doubt.
Sir,
हाँ बताइए.
sir, can we expect 100% recovery in stroke patient?
It is your way which tells you what way you have chosen. If you choose your physiotherapy traditional methods, you cannot expect any recovery. Either you will create more spasticity.
Prefer a user-friendly interface.
You are right. User-friendly interface you have to use. Who told this? Huh? Someone told user-friendly interface. So the one who said this sentence, user-friendly interface has to be used. Your interface is not user-friendly. You have to create in Parkinson's, all this method, a user-friendly interface. Once it is created, uske baad normal interface mein le aao. You bring it to normal interface, the patient will recover. All are running very quickly to recover the patient. But tell me, how many of you have recovered the patient? एक छोटा सा दर्द भी हम ठीक नहीं कर पाते. We run so fast, but still we are so behind. Why? Because we forgot the general fundamental rule of recovery. Now let us take the topic of rewiring the neurons. Go to Google Images, rewiring the neurons. Now, this is the book what I was saying. Second image. Can the brain be rewired? No, not this. Can the brain be rewired? Yes, click this one. Yes. Yes. Now open the text. In a concept would not have been thought impossible in 50 years ago. Back then, scientists believed that the brain structure was fixed. Now, even today, why physiotherapy was coming to begin? Physiotherapy and all these therapies, modern robotic therapy, came into being only with this theory that if you keep doing the activities, the fixation neurons will be rewired. You can see. But because of advances in brain stimulation and imaging technologies such as magnetic brain stimulation and functional magnetic resonance fMRI, it becomes clear that the brain, supple and adaptable, capable of reorganizing itself thoughtful throughout life and creating neural pathways to adapt to its needs. Now there is a stroke. If you treat the patient properly, अगर stroke होने के बाद patient का proper treatment होता है, then what do you see? You see this type of adaptability in the brain, which I bring in my patients. This incredible adaptation is called neuroplasticity, says Dr. Robert Chen, senior scientist at the Cambridge Research Institute of Toronto and neurologist at Toronto Western Hospital. This incredible. So this is not credible, means it cannot be explained in word what the brain has adapted to its new skill after the stroke development. Brain has become totally spasticity. Now let us study about the spasticity of the muscles. What is spasticity? Right, spasticity of the muscles. Role of brain in spasticity of muscle. Role of brain, not role of brain, R-O-L-E, role of brain in spasticity of muscles. Spasticity, not neuroplasticity. Spastic, spastic. S-P-A-S-T-I-C-T-I, spasticity of muscles. Create second image. Now you can see the changes inside the brain when it becomes a hemiplegic brain. Then spastic. Now you'll see a spastic brain. How spasticity occurs in the brain. So it is not the spasticity in the muscles, it is spasticity in the brain. Now you see, if you do more and more exercise, what it will become? Dikinetic, dystonic, atonic, and types of cerebral palsy areas of the brain damage involved. So similarly, in spasticity, you will see different types of stages of spasticity in a patient and the area affected in the brain. Now, if this area of the brain is not covered by proper stimulation, do you think the patient will recover? Which point will recover? Which stimulation will recover? Where is the stimulator? Where is the RTMS? Where are the RMS? Where is the DTMS? Where is the mapping of the brain? Do you have anything by which you can recover any of such patients? No, you don't have anything. You just think by exercise and all these things, the patient may recover. It is not easy. ऐसा सोचना बेकार है. क्यों? You can see the damages inside the brain. First, you must think how these damages can be overcome. Because the drug which we give, its size is more than 50 Dalton. So how your brain is involved? How your brain can be improved? See, for a natural person, why am I teaching you like this? I want to teach you like this because I want to take you out from the books so that you start thinking. आप सोचना चालू करें. जैसे आप सोचना चालू करेंगे तो मैं आपको सोचने का तरीका बता रहा हूँ. I am teaching you how to think so that whenever you go to Google, you may know what to type, how to understand what is stimulation. Now write stimulation. Stimulation in the brain. Come now. That transcranial magnetic deep brain electronic brain stimulation. No, that trans TMS brain TMS capital T capital T capital T MS brain. TMS brain stimulation. So now you see how TMS gives continuous stimulus after what? It is giving continuous magnetic stimulus. On what basis this concept was developed? This concept was developed on the basis of what? This concept was developed on the basis of
electric induction.
no neuroplasticity. First word which brought this concept in the scientists was that brain can change. Now there are two ways. Navigate the brain. There were three ways of giving stimulus to the brain. Was deep brain stimulation, and then there is a surgical procedure which we do in Parkinson's. Like I have seen vagus nerve stimulation gives 18 lakhs of rupees for stimulation, but the patient deteriorates. Then comes magnetic stimulation. In certain cases we saw it gives a very good result, but in certain cases we don't get results. So, what do you see? TMS cells. Similarly, what we did a specific mapping of the brain. We inserted the needle and we stimulated that particular needle with a specific frequency. Each frequency of the pain was developed on our own experience basis. Because that was used for our personal clinic, we gave it to our nurses, staff, and all those people who does not understand anything. Just their work was to stimulate. After 3 days or 4 days of stimulation, we found the patient has improved. Go down. There is some more images. Let's go down. Yeah. Click 1, 2, 3. Not here. This image. TMS theory in depression. Second, third image. No, not this. Third image. What is taken? Localization of brain cell. Now, how to stimulate the brain cell? That is the most important question which we have. Even if we see buying this equipment using navigation technique is done by physiotherapists and all these days. But the most difficult part is acquiring and procuring these machines because they are very costly machines. And your skills should be very good while you do this type of stimulation. So what we took out? A simple based stimulation. Hiram, Morlam, Hiram, blessing, Hiram and Morlam technique. We develop different brains, maps in the brain, which covers the patient. That's all. Why to buy 21 lakhs machine, which can be replaced by small, this one? That is what we said. Mapping of the brain, correct stimulation of the brain is just like buying a mic. I made many experiments in mic also. My voice was not clear. Ultimately, I purchased a mic by which you are also comfortable. I am also comfortable. My voice is also audible to you and it is also audible to others. Initially, I was finding difficulty of getting heated in my ears, but now I got used to it. Now, this used to it is called neuroplasticity of the brain. Every day I try to use and I put new thoughts in my mind that if I don't speak nicely, how will you understand? If you don't understand, how will you do things in your life? How will you understand the importance of life? That part will make you understand how and why transcranial magnetic stimulation can be replaced by our pain stimulation. One is massager and stimulation. Now, write the difference between massager versus stimulation. Go. Brain massage, just write massager versus stimulation. Go all down. So here you can see brain stimulation therapies involve activating or inhibiting the treat NIMH. NIMH, first one. Brain stimulation therapies can play a role in treating certain mental disorders, brain stimulation therapies involve activating or inhibiting the brain directly with electricity. The electricity can be given directly by electrodes implanted in the brain or non-invasively through electrodes placed on the scalp. So what I did, I used this needle as an electrode, right? And then then non-invasively I stimulated with the pain. This electricity can be induced by using magnets also. And they hold promise for treating certain mental disorders and to respond to other treatments. So, in seizures, in Parkinson's, all these things are useful. In certain cases, we don't get good results. In certain cases, we get good results. It all depends on how things were done, whether depends on our luck. That is why I said the needles which I have used were electrodes. जो electrodes मतलब कुछ एक device वो मैंने insert कर दिया. अब brain से उसको stimulate कर देने से वो एक stimulating device बन गया. बस. So now I don't stimulate it for 100 seconds or 200 seconds. We stimulate the pain for 10 seconds to 12 seconds or less than 5 to 6 seconds. And that is immediately we get results in patient for treatment. This is what I believe and I have done. You can also see vagus nerve stimulation. Type vagus nerve stimulation. Third piece, Vinny, vagus nerve stimulation. Yes. But this is most unsuccessful one. It is used for the treatment of epilepsy, but we have shown epilepsy is untreatable in this way. We have seen many people, many methods, it was not treatable. So in this way, you can understand in a simple way why repeated pain stimulation has to be given, why needles are very important. If you cannot use needle, use direct pain. But if we are coming to a conclusion, only pain can recover a disease, or vitamins, minerals, and all this is not required, it's not correct. But the body is getting depleted with all the minerals, with wear and tear. तो उससे problems तो आती हैं. Now you have to understand what you have to do and what you have not to do. Now I put myself to questions and answers. You may close it and you may ask me a question and answers. Did you understand something what I spoke today? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
कुछ तो समझे. I'm trying to teach you how to think and understand things from Google. I can make slides and teach you, but that will not, you are already a learned person. Whoever is coming me is not a new person, right? All of you are learned people. So teaching a learned people is teaching a neurosurgeon a different way of neurosurgery, right? Definitely you all are learned person. You have been using learned techniques from colleges, best techniques of the seminars, adapted techniques which have been used for years, proven techniques which proves result. But then one more technique when it comes inside your brain, it becomes difficult for digestion. But when you come closer to it, you understand how a magnetic field creates triggering of the neurons. So my method also is to trigger the neurons. Correct? So, by this process only, you can recover a good patient. Okay? Yes. You may ask me questions. आप मुझसे सवाल कर सकते हैं. You can ask me your questions, please. That is why we say there are different acupuncture points, because they stimulate different areas of the brain, different ways of selection, different methods of selection. We give you shortcut ways so that you don't need to do so much research. Correcting mistake and again correcting it, making mistake, correcting it, making mistake, correcting it, only spoils the time and spoils the time of recovery. Sometimes it becomes an unrecoverable case.
नमस्कार सर.
कौन बोल रहे हैं?
मुकेश रावत सर.
रावत जी, प्लीज टेल मी.
सर, जो हम ब्रेन मैपिंग के लिए हैंड यूज करते हैं, ब्लेसिंग, हेराम और मोरलाम, तो सर किस केस में कौन सा हैंड यूज करना चाहिए, मैप यूज करना चाहिए?
नहीं, देखिए, ये बोलना आज के दिन में बहुत ज्यादा आसान भी नहीं है मेरे लिए बोलना, और बहुत ज्यादा मुश्किल भी नहीं. They need to improve the strength, because the problem with the people is that they do not know the classification and understanding of the muscles, the intelligence of the muscles. This movement, this movement, this movement, this movement. They only understand in paralysis. One minute. Hello. Yes. 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 हाँ बताइए. हाँ बताइए. हाँ 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 हाँ, आप मेरे को आधे घंटे के बाद फोन कीजिए, मैं अभी क्लास ले रहा हूँ. हाँ. देखिए, the question is to improve the power, you can use this what you call straight, but in many cases it will not work because the brain is damaged in various ways. That is why I said it is a continuous process of learning, because brain is dynamic. You are playing with 100 billion neurons, but overall, if you see, to increase the power of the strength, 75% of the stroke cases can be dealt with this. But again, making a people to walk, पाँव का पावर तो आपने बढ़ा दिया ब्रेन स्टिमुलेशन करके, पर उसको गेट पैटर्न पर चलाना, उसको सही तरीके से चलाना, वो एक नया चैलेंज है. उसके लिए कॉग्निटिव पेन का मूवमेंट होना, उसके बाद स्पाइन मूवमेंट होना, उसके बाद स्पाइन, नर्व और मसल और ब्रेन का कोऑर्डिनेशन होना, ये सब कोऑर्डिनेटेड एक्टिविटीज है. Coordinated means you have to coordinate with each other, like the coordinators are coordinating. If one day I tell Vinny, you do like this, and if he does not do, you see how much chaos happens inside the class. If Vinny becomes for 1 minute descended, the whole class becomes chaos. You see, after doing whole day work at night 12:30, working again for the classroom. This is same with your brain. Your brain and mind is creating this chaos. So if you give wrong stimulation with wrong pain, it will happen. अब मसाजर पेन से स्टिमुलेशन देंगे तो क्या होगा?
डैमेज होगा.
वो डैमेज क्या रिपेयर हो सकता है?
No, because we don't know which part is damaged and how much damage.
Yes. तो आज तक हम लोग क्या करते आए क्लिनिक में? व्हाट डिड वी डू इन आवर क्लिनिक? We never wanted to recover the patient. Neither the patient wanted to recover, nor we wanted to recover the patient. Patient wants the exercise to continue. Attendant also wants the exercise to continue. They want something, something. We want something, something. Both of us don't understand. Finally, patient discharged. More questions, please. Is a model arm technique or high arm में एक ही बात है. When you want to improve the power, you use it, and when you want to improve the muscular activities like movement of the muscles, you use this diagonal technique.
Thank you, sir.
दोनों में अलग पेन आता है. Cognitive is for this, brain stimulation for this, and then when you come in between these two, you have to use advanced brain stimulation. यानी PNS करते वक्त, PNF मूवमेंट यानी पेन और आई कोऑर्डिनेशन करते वक्त इन दोनों की जगह के बीच में थोड़ा सा स्पेस क्रिएट करके पेन स्टिमुलेट करने से मसल्स वही है, बस स्पेस और चीजें चेंज हो गई. यानी if you change from ear to ear, in between these two, if you bring your hand like this, and then again you stimulate, you will get a different way of understanding. So first is regaining the power, then teaching the brain, then coordinating the brain. These three things you must understand. Coordination को हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं? क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में रावत जी?
सर अभी याद नहीं आ रहा है.
संभाव.
अच्छा.
कोऑर्डिनेट मतलब हम और आप एक संभावना से, संभाव मतलब संभावना नहीं, संभाव मतलब एक भाव.
एक भाव से सब काम करे.
हाँ, एक भाव से काम कर रहे हैं.
तालमेल बिठाना.
तालमेल बिठाना या एक भाव से काम करना. समन्वय बिठाना. देखिए एक साथ आ गए ना सारे शब्द. अभी आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा, तब सब समझ में आ गया ना. इसी को न्यूरोप्लास्टिसिटी कहते हैं. अलग अलग स्टिमुलस अलग अलग जगह से पहुंचे तो आपको सारे शब्दों का अर्थ समझ में आ गया. बिकॉज द मीनिंग वाज देयर ऑलरेडी इन योर वर्ड.
यस सर.
बट उसको अगर ढंग से समझा दिया जाए, डेफिनेशंस आर ऑलरेडी देयर, राइट. मैंने पूछा कोऑर्डिनेशन मतलब क्या, हिंदी में तो नहीं समझ में आ रहा क्या बोल रहे, पर मैंने बोला संभाव. संभाव बोलते आपको दूसरा वर्ड बोला तालमेल बिठाना, तीसरा वर्ड बताते ये, तो आपको तीनों वर्डों का समझ में आ गया. कोऑर्डिनेशन मीन्स एक तीसरे के साथ संभाव के साथ रहना. यानी शास्त्रों में भी ये लिखा गया, इन आवर रिलीजियस बुक ऑल्सो इट इज रिटन दैट वी इफ वी वर्क and coordinate and work together with the for the progress of the society, and if we help the society, we don't help the society, we improve our own neuroplasticity. By teaching, by helping, by coordinating, you are not helping others, you are helping yourself, you are improving your activities, you are improving. Like Winnie, 1 year back, 2 years back, when you used to speak to Winnie, I was to say most hopeless girls of my class, but today you see we are all thankful to her because that she has developed a coordinating activity. She has become a team leader. Now wherever she goes, she can coordinate, understand Indians, because she have understood Indians very well, talking to them, understanding them. She can understand their mentality. She can learn in between lines. All this is called what? Neuroplasticity of the activity. But if she was silent, if she would have not done, if Mickey would have not written notes and given, if these things were not happening, then what happened? ऐसा होता तो आपके अंदर क्या नई क्वालिटीज डेवलप होती. आप वर्कशॉप्स में नहीं जाओ, सेमिनार्स में नहीं जाओ, अपने आप को अपग्रेड नहीं करो तो क्या होगा, आप उस 1947 से 1947 तक ही रह जाओगे. You are from 1947 to 47. Today we are thinking of limousines and you are still moving in Ambassador. Where is Ambassador right now? Tell me. It is in a museum, not even in the... Once upon a time, Ambassador was used by the Prime Minister of India. And today, where is Ambassador? Not even the police officers, SI level also use ambassadors. It is gone. Nokia, BlackBerry, all gone because they could not fight with Android and 5G coordinations. They did not build that foundation from very beginning. आज से 5 साल बाद की चीज को अगर आज आप नहीं समझ पा रहे हैं कि आज से 5 साल बाद नई नई चीजें आ रही है, उस हिसाब से अपने आप को प्रिपेयर नहीं किया तो क्या होगा? You all will be outdated and new generation will replace you. बस वही बात न्यूरोप्लास्टिसिटी में बताया गया है. The old ways are become weakened, so new ways have to be created. So when you don't create new ways inside the brain, or you depend on all ways and all techniques, what will happen? You will become outdated. Similarly, brain also become weakened, you also become weakened. So learning new things, re-awakening yourself, new understanding only treats not only your way, keeps you healthy, but also treats your brain and makes you healthy. That is why I always take out 1 hour at least talking to you so that I get to learn more while talking to you. That creates a new plasticity in my brain. More questions, please.
Sir?
Hukum Babu.
Sir, if any patient is taking anticoagulant drug due to open heart surgery, then we can do brain stimulation?
Definitely you can do brain stimulation. That has nothing to do.
Oh.
But what with will you do brain stimulation? Do you have a stimulating device?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a stimulating device?
No, no, sir. I'm just
I'm asking you, I
for
also ask
knowledge.
you a counter question. I ask you a counter question. Maybe I thought you have some TMS or RTMS. That's why I was asking.
I do not have.
None of the device you have.
No, no.
You can use
I'll
it.
go, sir. I'll go, sir, in the seminar. That's why
See, wherever you go, whatever you do is your own desire. This is not our topic of discussion. Our topic of discussion is, can brain be revived? Yes, brain can be revived. What are the principles of revival? We tomorrow will see neurogenesis, angiogenesis and all. And how acupuncture brings revival through scientific procedure, you can understand by going throughout these lectures. First part of the lecture, I kept it free because people are coming and going. But second part, I kept it so that you can understand people are serious and write down and they practice. It all depends on how you improve yourself. आप अपने आप में कैसे इम्प्रूवमेंट लाते हैं, ये आज उसकी बात है और उसमें दूसरी कोई बात है ही नहीं. You really want to improve? I purchased 6 lakh rupees. I could purchase a car also. I could purchase a neuro microscope also. The money which you gave me, I purchased what? Instead of buying a car, I purchased neuro microscope. In 6-7 lakhs, I can easily purchase 1 car. But what will I do of that car? I don't go outside. I don't buy clothes. I used my equipments to enhance my skills. That is the power of a sannyasi. Sannyas comes first in your mind, then in your thoughts, then in your action. That is why I say if you have a critical patient, please refer it to us. Then after we make it the found in 1 or 2 months, you give it to us. When he becomes in a proper state, you do the further follow-up. बस इतना सही तो बात है. पेशेंट हैज टू रिकवर. आप 2 महीने बाद ट्रीट कर दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? पेशेंट तो रिवाइव हो गया ना. More questions, please.
Hi, Ji. I have a question on muscle. Is it okay?
Yes, everything is okay.
Yeah. So can NIBS recover pectoris dystrophy?
We have recovered many cases of muscular dystrophy. I've given the evidences.
No, the
In the
pectoris
class of,
major.
yeah, myopathies and all, they have revived on it. They've sustained. I've showed you a case of Pooja who was 28 years old, myopathy case.
So what causes the pectoris to be dystrophy?
See, that is a different question. Today the question is, can this be recovered? Do brain has the capacity to rewire? Do brain has the capacity to recover? Yes, brain has the capacity to rewire and recover.
Yeah, so what is the underlying cause of the dystrophy?
See, generally it is called a neuroprotein deposition.
Pardon?
Neuroprotein deposition, the neuroproteins.
That
The
causes the
non-functional,
dystrophy of the pectoris, no?
yes, because the conduction of the nerves do not take place and certain deposition in the brain creates pathologies in the muscle. Rest, it is a genetic cause also, it may be non-genetic cause also, it may be environmental also, it may be your food activity also. There may be hundreds of causes. Now it depends on under which cause you have suffered, that has to be identified.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. More questions, please.
Cindy from the Philippines, may I ask?
Please, thank you, madam. Tell me.
Yeah. If gluteus power was improved during the first stimulation, and after 3 days, it becomes weak once more, do we repeat the simulation where we did it previously?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. This is what neuroplasticity said, repetition requires. Can you learn a car in a single day, madam? Can you teach me driving a car in a single day?
No.
Why? Repeated activity. It is said, repeated activity.
So when the strength is back, that's the time we proceed with the Morlam or Hiram per our assessment.
It all depends on what you are treating, how you are treating, what is in your mind. How can I say? Because you all have not been properly trained in these techniques. Proper techniques are to be trained with patients in a proper way. But so far, theoretically, if you first increase the power, then include the PNF techniques, eye and hand coordination, then global means hand has to coordinate with the leg, leg has to coordinate with the hand.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. More question, please. More questions, please. More questions, please. No questions for today? I think the class was boring, so you did not ask any question.
So not boring. Mostly the understand the ideas today we are.
See, in it are just electrodes. You understood? And उसको सही तरीका से, सही पेन से, सही तरीके से एक इलेक्ट्रिकल करंट का वो झटका मिल जाने से वो काम में लग जाता है. बस एक झटके की जरूरत है. सही तरीके का झटका मिल जाने से सही काम हो जाता है.
सर आज सही झटका लग गया कि पढ़ना कैसे है. अभी हम लोग इधर उधर बिखर के पढ़ते थे.
मैंने वही आपको गूगल, मैंने ये सोचा, बहुत दिन लगा मुझे ये समझने में कि आप लोगों को कैसे पढ़ाना है.
Yes, sir, correct.
I do not understood how to teach you. Then I thought of making you understand how to read.
Yes, sir. This is excellent way.
Yes, sir.
How to read. How to read in Google. How to understand topics and how to read, how to understand and how to analyze. That's what I wanted to say. सारा ज्ञान भीतर है, खाली खोजना है. हम ब्रह्मास्मि, so हम. I am that, the one who knows everything. Only you have to realize yourself. What you see is not correct. What you hear is not correct. What you speak is not correct. What you understand is not correct. What you are doing is also not correct. But after realization, whatever you do is correct. So my fact is only to make you realize that all things are correct in this world. Physiotherapy, Unani, Ayurvedic, everything is correct. But we must know when and which, under which circumstances, what is correct. क्या चीज कब सही है वो चीज को समझो. समय और समय के भाव को समझो. परिस्थितियों को समझो. अंतराल को समझो. Anyway, before I go, I will request you to help me to organize this seminar again. I like asking help because I must understand. I must take this habit of taking and asking help. I know I do most of the work, but still I have a habit of asking help, that please help me to organize this seminar, bring good people. Let us all change the new part of the society. Whole world is suffering. Let us bring new changes, new thoughts in our brain and mind. Let things happen the way God thinks. Saving money, 35,000 is of no use when you cannot earn 2 lakh rupees from there. Money is a depreciation. If you don't invest correctly, you get depreciated. So, do not depreciate yourself. Appreciate yourself. और आगे बढ़ो, और अच्छे हो, और उन्नति करो, और ऊंचे बढ़ो. वही जीवन का संकल्प है. Do good, be good, and become the best. And in your own eyes, you have to become the best. In your own eyes, that I could do whatever I could. That is the best of efforts. Right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Terima
sir.
kasih banyak.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for the great
Thank you. The lecture was excellent. Thank you, sir.
experiences and knowledge.
Thank you,
Very
sir.
grateful, son.
Ratri, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I
Thank you,
appreciate
Vinny.
you.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good
Good
night,
night,
everyone.
everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good night,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, MK.
Good night.
So much. Thank you.
Everyone, I'm shutting down.